Hey guys, welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We are back. This awesome Star Wars celebration and Kenobi weekend continues to roll on, and we have our latest announcement, Tales of the Jedi, and we got to tell you all we know about it so far. Jimmy, how you holding up this week, my man?
I'm pretty exhausted. Spent the first 2 days comfy in bed, watching the live stream. Just had a great time, and then went right back to work today for Memorial Day weekend, and it was a really rough transition.
It is. It is not as fun. It's so hard. The awesome thing about these weekends is there's so much news. In fact, hopefully today we're going to hear more about Bad Batch Season 2, maybe Vision Season 2, and hopefully maybe some announcements in the closing ceremony. It's hard to go back to the real world. It's hard to go back to the real world once we're in this space. But we appreciate all you guys' support over the weekend. I hope you guys have been liking and subscribing. You guys have been so supportive, have great comments. We're really excited, and we want to hear your thoughts on this video as well. So we're going to start by just walking through what Tales of the Jedi is and what we know so far, and kind of giving you guys some commentary as we go along. So Tales of the Jedi, we've talked about this on stream for a couple weeks, something that leaked all the way back in December. And a lot of us speculated whether it was going to be a retelling of the Tales of the Jedi comic series or it was going to be something new. Recently, we learned it was going to be an anthology, an animated anthology. And now we know a whole lot as I transition over our screens here. This is from the official Star Wars Twitter. And it says, Tales of the Jedi is an anthology of original animated shorts, each story featuring Jedi from the prequel era, and it's going to stream in this fall. 6 episodes this fall, and we actually know, it's a fantastic logo I'm sharing here on the screen, first of all, but we also learned that 6 episodes, 3 are going to follow Ahsoka, and 3 are going to follow young Dooku, which is so awesome. Let me get that out of the way. I love to see more young Dooku. I'm going to go through here some of the updates we got. This is again from the official Star Wars channel itself. These are the 2 official pictures they released. This is baby Ahsoka with her tribe. Adorable baby Ahsoka right here in her little carrying pouch, looking as cute as can be. One thing they specifically called out, Jimmy, I want to get your opinions on, is it's going to have very little dialogue. It is going to be heavily based on visual actions to get the real plot and the understanding of the characters. What do you think about that? And what do you think about what we've learned so far?
I think it is very interesting that they're going the route of little dialogue and more action. I like that. Part of me doesn't like that. And let me explain. So I like that because I grew up watching Samurai Jack, which was very much the same.
Yeah.
Not a lot of dialogue. It was very action packed. And the same with the original animated Clone Wars because it was the same creator. Not a lot of dialogue. It was very much action. It worked just fine. I don't like it because it's just weird because they have so for the Dooku and Qui-Gon story, Liam Neeson's coming back for that.
He is.
It's I don't know. I guess there's some time skips because it says Liam Neeson is coming back to reprise his role, but Liam Neeson's son is going to play the younger Qui-Gon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming there's going to be some time jumps. I just don't like. It's there's little dialogue, but they have all these actors coming back. I don't know. Maybe that's just a weird.
I
thing
get you.
To me.
You got a lot of talent.
It's not the end of the world, but I mean, hey,
We got a lot.
I think it's gonna be cool.
I do too. If you guys can't see from this image that I'm sharing right here, Dave Filoni confirmed it himself. It's going to be using the same technology and same animation style we saw in the Bad Batch. It looks absolutely breathtaking. Bad Batch is phenomenal, and this looks to be that way as well. As we move along here, I want to also address that they did show some other pictures. These were taken from cell phones. So we have a young Dooku and a young Mace Windu in a forest here, surrounded by some sort of enemy, humanoid enemy, as well as some sort of droid enemy. This is obviously before really the prequel era we know. So it's going to be a really fun era to explore. Our second picture here is a young Ahsoka doing some Jedi training. She's got her little bots around her, preparing to deflect some bullets. You'll see here in the audience, there's a Mace Windu, there's an Anakin, there's an Obi-Wan, and there's a Plo Koon and a Yoda, at least in this concept art over here on the side. We also see a scene with, it looks like a young Qui-Gon in some sort of desolate town with this enemy Imperial-looking force. Very interesting.
Look, I'm here for young Qui-Gon all day, man.
Oh my gosh. And then this final picture is Ahsoka versus an Inquisitor. Really cool art style here, almost like a painted kind of look to it. Again, this is concept art, I'm pretty sure. Not sure what Inquisitor this is going to be, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. And to Jimmy's point, he already brought home.
I have some thoughts. We'll get there. So
yeah. Well, no, I'm going to pass it to you because you called this out. I'll reiterate the point. For both Ahsoka and Dooku, it's going to follow like different points of their life, like baby Ahsoka, adult Ahsoka, teen Ahsoka. And so we're going to see like they're anthologies. So they're not going to be like 3 consecutive episodes. They'll be just 3 different moments in their long life.
Yeah. I'm excited to see these specifically for Qui-Gon because I mean I was saying it just a couple of weeks ago, maybe not even that, maybe a couple of days ago. I was like, someone asked if they'd want to see, it was like, who wants to see a young Qui-Gon Jinn show? I mean, I would like to see it. I think the odds of it happening are slim. Of course, now I'm kind of getting that. I said I would love a book. I would love a book. Yes. I want some young Qui-Gon action. And we're getting that now, so that's fantastic. I really want to see if we might get some hints to Rael Averross, which I don't know. Did you read Master and Apprentice?
I have not yet.
Okay. So Master and Apprentice is, kind of gives some little bit of insight on that. Rael Averross was Qui-Gon's first apprentice, and then after that, Kenobi came in.
Yeah.
I think either that or it was. I think it's been a while. It was either that or Rael Averross was Dooku's first apprentice and vice versa.
I get you.
Either way, it would be cool to see him because he was a real fun character in the book and he was very much of the break all of the rules kind of character. So I would love to see that dynamic, and I kind of think that leans into how Qui-Gon is the way he is. For the Ahsoka thing, I think this is going to be interesting because if this fight with the Inquisitor, if it's what I think it is, and there were some hints of this on Twitter, a little bit of excitement. E.K. Johnston's book, Ahsoka. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
I saw that as well on Twitter, yeah.
Her book, Ahsoka, is about, is the transition between episodes 3 and 4, or really between 3 and Rebels. And it tells the fight between Ahsoka and an Inquisitor, and that's how she gets her white lightsabers.
Yep.
So I wonder if that's going to be that fight.
I think so, based on the fact that in this concept art you see she looks older, and of course the Inquisitors were only around after the Empire took over, so we could be safe.
I mean, we've seen her fight Inquisitors before, but I mean, I think this is really going to be it, especially in, EK, she herself doesn't know, but she was like, if this is it, I'm going to freak out, because that would be amazing to see a story idea that she had be brought to life in animation. I think that'd be fantastic.
It looks phenomenal. It looks absolutely awesome. And so we're really focusing here on the positive. I want to call out this info. Folks at the panel got to watch the first episode. Is it 15?
Really?
Yes. So Star Wars Explained, others, they have their kind of reactions out there on Twitter. So Utini here put that the first episode is called Life and Death. It's 15 minutes long. It showcased baby Ahsoka, who is 1, and her mother had very minimal dialogue. It takes place on her homeworld. It involves a hunt, a saber-toothed tiger type beast, and an utterance of Jedi. Bad Batch style animation, gorgeous. That was kind of their summary of the episode. And there was apparently a good focus on motherhood because it's her mother with this 1-year-old child. So that's what you can expect. 15 minutes following these characters. And, Dave Filoni talked about this in the interview. It's like he loves animation. He loves the technology they have right now, and he just wanted to tell some of these stories. Thought it was important and very a fascinating way that you could fill in more of this prequel era in short little animated ways. And I think it is so exciting. So exciting. And I want to keep focusing on the positive before we talk, before we talk about maybe some of the mixed response here. I will call out that Ahsoka's mother is played by the voice of Jayden Erso, or of Erso in what is the game? Battlefront with the Imperial agent. What is her name?
Versio.
Yes, thank you. So I'm looking at her name here. It's Janina is the actors or whatever.
Yeah, Janina. I was gonna say you said Ursa. I was like, I don't think it's Felicity Day. I think that's her name.
No, it's You corrected me. It is her. She's gonna voice.
Well, that's
Ahsoka's
cool.
mother. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like that.
So fun little thing there. We'll also call out that Dave specifically said these aren't all fun little happy stories. And so if you thought like, oh, it's gonna be just like this kitty little like short animated happy fun baby Ahsoka, that's specifically been called out as not the tone we're gonna get here all the time.
Which is interesting because I want to see that happen. I want to see Qui-Gon's reaction to Dooku leaving the Order. That would be
I am
interesting.
so hyped for this, and I will finally pull up here. There will be 3 stories each, 3 for Ahsoka, 3 for Dooku, and including a young Qui-Gon Jinn. And again, we have grainy images here because folks are taking these on their cell phones, which we appreciate. But here's a look at young Qui-Gon.
Thank you to those in attendance.
And here's the tweet. It's Liam Neeson, and this is Utini referring to the voice. It's not just him; it's also his son. He's playing the young version. So that is so. It's so cool that he keeps
really
coming
cool,
back.
yeah.
That he keeps coming back for the character because he is legendary.
We want him to have like a more significant role, and they're like 15 minutes, and he's like, yeah, okay.
Let's be honest, as I pull us back to Jimmy and I on the big screen, I expect we're going to be maybe seeing a Qui-Gon in the coming weeks in Kenobi. I think it was strongly...
I'm so hopeful.
I think it was strongly hinted. Even in their flashback, they wrapped it up with like, I have a mission for you. Go to Tatooine and talk to your old master. And then in both episodes, Obi-Wan's like, oh, man. Oh, master. He's looking for his master. So
I need some guidance here.
I fully expect we're going to see Liam Neeson here on the silver screen. But I digress. That is Tales of the Jedi. It sounds truly awesome. I'm very excited for it. As a prequel era fan, we're eating good. But there is a side on here I do kind of want to address. Some folks were disappointed. Simply because Tales of the Jedi is a really cool story arc. It is a comics based on the ancient Jedi. I mean, we're going way back for Tales of the Jedi. And so many fans thought, okay, we're going to get an animated series that's going to follow, this era. And they use the same name. They use the very similar style in the logo that you guys have seen. And so a lot of fans had their hopes, built up for this. And there's some frustration about why would you take the name? Why would you take that name? And why would you use that logo and then not tell those stories? Tell that really exciting story. So I really do respect that as well. It can be disappointing. A lot of fans had their hopes up. They were going to see an animated version of what they loved. And now we're getting something awesome. But I think there's maybe some sadness there as well, right? What do you think about that, Jimmy?
Let's say this might be like the one time, and I think this might help for those who think we're solely Disney shills and we just get those paychecks. We don't. This is one thing that I'm going to disagree with Disney Lucasfilm on, and it is the reuse of the name and the logo, because I just think it's almost kind of rude. I'm not saying they're stealing it. It's just when that teaser came out, that little box that had Tales of the Jedi on it, we saw that, and it is exactly the same. It is the logo on that original comic run, which, the original comic was the story of Ulic Qel-Droma and Exar Kun. Great story. But if you're going to use identically the same thing, I had someone on Twitter try to tell me it's not the same, it's a different font. Okay, it's a copy and paste. If you're going to do that to people that have been begging for Legends content to come back in some fashion, or, people want Disney rewritten entirely, but
yes,
don't do that. That seems just like a little bit of a low punch to me. Well, I think the concept of the show is awesome. It is simply the reuse of the title and the logo nearly identical. It sits a little weird with me.
Well, I agree in the sense that, like, I feel like you could have come up with a creative name for an Ahsoka, for like a prequel era small anthology.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. Here's how I would think of it. Tales of the Jedi is a phenomenal name. It is such a good name. And I feel like they kind of wasted it on something very small. Like, these might be the most amazing shorts of all time, but I feel like Tales of the Jedi really should be something grander than just 6 episodes. Even though they sound amazing, it just doesn't really fit for me.
To that point, I don't think is it just going to be 6 and done? I don't think so. I think we're going to get a lot more. I think this is a starting point. I hope we get like 90 episodes. I think that would fulfill the name. It's just the logo part. My brain won't let me get past it. I'm still going to watch and probably love this. Yeah. And I made that same point on Twitter. I was like, look, I'm going to love this. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Because the story ideas are fantastic. Just don't, it's borderline insulting to a lot of Legends fans to see the title teased for so long and everyone's like, please be what I want it to be. Psych.
I made the joke to our good friend Ben that at least, because he loves Tales of the Jedi, and he was like, man, if they make a live action version of it, like, it has to be, like, they have to respect that original story. I really want them to keep a lot of the plot the same. And so jokingly, I texted him and said, well, you don't have to worry about that. At least they're not going to ruin something you liked. So maybe there's a positive there.
But I still think that's a fair point. At least we know now it's not a remake of that story in any fashion. So the original content it's still there. It hasn't been tarnished or anything.
Yeah.
The logo was just stolen. That's all.
The name. I mean, for mainstream fans, they have no idea what Tales of the Jedi is. And that's not an insult. They just wouldn't. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. So you're right. For the Legends fans out there, it is a disappointment. And I respect that. I'm not going to... Look, if you're very passionate about something, you hear they're making Tales of the Jedi, and then it turns out it's like something completely different than your expectations. I think it's okay to initially be disappointed. To your point, Jimmy.
And to that point, I'm not going to act like they haven't done this before. The Last Jedi was a book in Legends, and then they reused the title for this.
Yeah, there's precedent. You're correct, but something we'll call it nonetheless. We talked about how exciting it was and how cool it was, but we also can call out why some people are a little disappointed.
And I can understand the disappointment. I'm disappointed in the use of the name. However, I am still looking forward to this. I think we'll get some really cool storytelling with some great animation, and it's going to be fun. Absolutely.
Let us know what you guys think down below, guys. I'm curious because I'm very excited for this. It's not going to be the same, maybe, scale of some of the other animation projects we've seen. It'll be closer to Visions, but Visions I thought was just absolutely phenomenal. So if this is anything like that, and it's telling stories with some of my favorite characters, especially Dooku, I'm really excited for the Dooku segment here. This is gonna be really, really cool to see.
It's gonna be great.
He's underrated in the prequel era. So what do you think, guys? Let us know down below. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the rest of this weekend. We have one more day of celebration left. Hopefully some more breaking news. And of course, guys, it's Kenobi season. Every week we have Kenobi to talk about. So hope you guys are staying tuned. Hope you guys are having a lot of fun. Until next time, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you again very soon.